Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast.
Are we live? Are we live?
We're
Wait,
live.
We're live. Are we live?
We're
Are we
live.
on screen? Are we live?
Yeah.
I think we're live.
Welcome everybody to the podcast number 25. It's 25 weeks.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's number 25 already.
Number 25 already.
Wow.
Yeah. So welcome on in. We got Spooo and StandardDamage. As always, hit up Pixel or Mike, whatever you want. We're going to hold true to the framework we did last week, so you guys can chime in, ask questions, streaming and marbles, or streaming or marbles.
Or both.
Or both. Streaming and marbles.
Streaming and marbles.
How's your guys' week's been? What are you guys up to? What do you guys got going on?
I'm moving tomorrow. I'm driving to Vermont tomorrow.
Right.
So I've been getting ready for that basically all week. It's been exciting.
Mentally and physically preparing.
Yes.
It's finally gonna happen, huh? We're finally there.
We're finally there.
The Rona couldn't stop me forever.
The evolution of Spooo. Welcome,
Yeah.
everybody. What?
No, I was just gonna say, and I got to cancel a stream this week, but outside of that, it was an amazing week. It
Oh,
really
because
was.
you were rejigging your loadout, right?
Yeah, it was all, and the whole battle was over the green screen. That's really what it was. For some reason, I couldn't get it to dial in, and I knew I was going to have some difficulty because this is the first time I've tried it with like the new lights,
Right.
and it was a lot more difficult than I anticipated, and it looked horrid. I couldn't get it to dial in. I had flies all around me and everything
really?
else, and I'm like, I've just got to take the day and settle in and just do it. And I took the opportunity to set up the new mic too while I was at it. So
Was it just a big color swap or something? Like,
it was a combination of things. Like I could dial it in okay on if I was just using the Logitech, which sometimes I'll do that when I stream, and sometimes I'll use the snap camera.
yeah.
And the snap camera wouldn't dial in, and part of it was me just being a total idiot. Like there's a switch in snap camera that if you flick it, it makes it green screen compatible, and I hadn't flicked that. So that was part of the problem. But some of it too was I was trying to strike a balance between both standing and sitting on stream.
Right.
And because of the light placement, it would get darker when I sat. And I'd have like these big black patches underneath. And that wasn't working either. So I finally got it dialed in. I just have to adjust this one light over here a little bit higher.
Oh, did your lights
brightness up a bit.
move with your desk or no? So they stay high.
The key light does.
Oh, I see.
The key light will moves with the desk because it mounts right to the desk, but the other two are on stand, so I have to
I gotcha.
split the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that I had with my standing desk. It was like when we go sit down, it like the lights don't move.
Yeah.
So then you got to do that too. You're just adding workload if you want to do it on stream, right?
Yeah. 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 Luckily, once I figured it out, it's not too bad. And part of the problem too was when I went to set up the green screen, like every green screen in the history of mankind, only 1 in every 100 is the actual width that they tell you it is. So like this one here, which is supposed to be 6 foot, was actually 2 inches short of 6 feet. So I had to refigure. I had a whole mounting system, and I had to redo some of that as well. And yeah, it was a fun Wednesday. But outside of that, the whole week was good. So
Awesome. Yeah, we got Pachinko out.
Nice.
That was a wild adventure. Turned out to be longer than we expected. It took like 3.5 weeks to develop. To get it.
Wow, it was that long?
Yeah, like
Didn't seem like that long.
yeah. Kegsan wanted to like rewrite everything to make sure like we're ready for adding to it if we want to.
yeah.
So we had to like rip apart my garbage code and then put it back together again. Yeah, but
So he fixed it up for you?
yeah, it's all fixed up, ready to go,
Nice.
live, and it's been fun so far. Did you guys hear about the Twitch Sports? I think that's a cool topic.
I did not.
No? So Twitch
Enlighten
released a sports category, not a category, but like if you go to like twitch.tv/sports or like something like that, it's got like all bunch of sports channels, and they got like NBA, NFL, like they've partnered. I don't think
nice.
NFL, but I think they've partnered with NBA. What is it? MLB. There's a whole list. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, but they have this category where like people stream, I guess. I don't know the full details, but it's really, I mean, it's good for the platform, right? Like
Yeah.
we
Something
talking
where
about
they're
this,
going to be able to stream and commentate the sports they're watching, or like is it like a co-stream kind of setup like they've been working on with some of the other categories?
I don't know. I've seen like a bunch of different like channels streaming to it, and it's so new. I'm still trying to like figure it out. I don't know if anybody in chat's seen it yet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's a really good. It's like a really good sign for streaming, right? Because like once all those sports come over, now you're like talking about mainstream like action on Twitch, right? Because like what have we had really that's true mainstream on Twitch in terms of like production and like show quality, right?
Yeah, like really nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. Like that, like you do have like Rocket League and some of that. Like there's some of the esports
Right.
that are done at a very, very, very high level of production, but to have, like you said, like
and then there's like
true
personal people, maybe.
Yeah.
But like stuff that like has a huge audience from television coming over.
Right.
I think
Yep.
that's like a really big turning point. And we may not see the impacts like now, like right away.
Yeah.
Because it'll take time for everything to get built out and the platforms to be ready to like deploy. But if it's true that it's all partnerships, I think that's huge. That's huge for the platform and just streaming in general.
Yeah, that's going to be good for everybody on the platform, because you'll have people now, you know, imagine this, like, because I've actually seen this in my stream. So you've got somebody in stream with you, and they'll let you know, a lot of people are like, I'll see you later. You know, I'm going to go, like, I have a football match that I want to go watch or something like that. And if there's some sports on there as well, now does it become a thing where somebody maybe has two tabs open, they're watching their favorite streamer and they're watching a sporting event as well? You know, like
all on Twitch. I think
all
that's
on Twitch,
so cool.
all in one spot.
Yeah.
Right.
One stop watching.
Amazon got a huge chunk of broadcasting rights to the British Premier League, so guessing they've done the same with other sports. Oh, I see.
Oh,
Nice.
That's really awesome.
Marbles esports, yeah. Oh yeah, sportscast. You could be watching the Twitch sports channel yourself while restreaming it.
yeah.
That'd be wild. I'm trying to find that link, honestly. That's what I'm just trying to find.
Yeah. And while you're looking that up, Hot 80, I saw your tip, by the way. I know. And if I was in a bigger space, I would be able to take two of these side lights and bring them back, or bring out my umbrella lights again and use those to light up the green screen. But I am not in a space that's unfortunately conducive to this. This is closer. The size of my studio is more akin to like a recording studio. So I really can't, I don't, if I was to bring those forward, you would actually be able to see the light stands, not only on screen, but I'd probably be tripping over them on top of it. So when I get a bigger space again, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's why I held on to my umbrella lights. That'll light up the green screen, and then I can do all kinds of cool effects on my face and everything else that don't rely on that. So, yeah.
So there's the channel. I just found it. I put it in my chat. So that's like their home channel, Twitch Sports. They're actually saying in the thing, no clipping, no archiving, no co-streaming.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I guess there's gonna be some like deals made or whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I wonder if it's like don't you think it'd be powerful for the platform to allow co-streaming on anything broadcasted on the platform? Or do you think that like people would just take advantage and then steal viewership, you know?
Maybe that's the point.
I think that's what they're worried about. Yeah. I mean, do I think there will ever be an opportunity to co-stream like the sporting events and to have streamers be their own commentators? I wouldn't be surprised if that idea has been knocked around, but what they're going to have to do is whatever deals they work out, they have to be able to prove to, to basically to the people they're working with that it's an advantage to them and not a disadvantage.
Right.
You know, and that's just going to be it. Like advertising deals, all that stuff would have to all be worked out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because you remember when, I don't remember who else did it, but I remember Tim the Tatman doing NFL co-streaming.
yeah,
And he was allowed to broadcast it. But I remember there being a rule where when an ad played through that channel, he had to shrink his face down, I think, and then let the ad take dominance of the screen.
yeah.
It was, so I don't know. It's just interesting
Mm-hmm.
the way that they're laying things out for streamers to co-stream.
Yeah. It might be a case too where you know, like one of your subscribers can't even the subscribers basically have to still watch the ads on top of you know, like you couldn't have that kind of setup going on.
What's the difference between that and like streamers restreaming the Xbox thing the other day, or you know, the PlayStation reveals and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, like I
do that all the time.
I'm guessing it's all opinion based, but like I guess the theory behind it is if a stream is intended to like grow their channel and like gain subs and stuff, if they're trying to monetize, they would probably want the viewership on the channel, as opposed to like an Xbox event. They don't really care. They just care about that event being widespread, right? So they wouldn't mind co-streaming because they don't care about getting subs on the channel. They want to broadcast the news, the new events coming, right? Or the new games coming out and stuff. That's my opinion on it. I don't know like what the facts are, but that's the way I would see it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
But in a way, co-streaming always makes that event or whatever is going on that channel relevant. If the more people are broadcasting it, even if it's a rebroadcast through another channel.
Yeah,
I feel like that's positive in a way.
I think it would be too. It's just more exposure to it,
right?
Yeah.
Because depending on who's restreaming it, a lot of the people aren't going to see that stuff unless the streamer that they're watching is watching it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see so many people do that kind of stuff, right? Like talk about things or show a video on their screen and talk about it, commentate,
right.
And that brings like awareness
like there's
to
streamers I've watched that have watched things. And I'm like, I would have never seen this if this streamer wasn't watching this and I wasn't in there watching it with them.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. You actually hear that a lot. I never would have heard that song if it hadn't been played on your channel. I never would have known about Product X, or I never would have known about that show if you hadn't shown it, or that YouTuber if you haven't, you know. See, something has to make it relatable. Something has to grant that exposure. And again, I think a lot of this boils down to agreements that these different sports leagues have already made with different advertisers and the athletes, and because it all gets tied up with money. So I think a lot of it again is going to boil down to like, how do they work it out so it's an advantage because they're just moving into this space,
right?
And this space, again, it boils down to this space is brand new, so everybody's still figuring out where the relevancy lies, I guess I want to say, what's going to get them the best exposure, and again, honestly, what's going to be able to still make them the money that they intend to make. So they have to work all that out.
Right.
And I think once they work all that out, then, but it would be nice to be able to see streamers be able to commentate on it. I think that would be another new era. I think about all the sports fans that are out there right now.
Right.
That might actually even try streaming for the first time just so they could do that, just so they could have that experience, Well,
there's also like the whole, like when you, like let's say you throw a Super Bowl event at your house and you bring 30 people over, like that's really positive to the event that you're hosting, right? Like it's it brings exposure to the event. Friends are coming together, hanging out, and I think a stream space is very similar to that.
Yeah,
like that group. Obviously it's a massive group, but it's a lot more like that in a way, right?
Yeah it is.
Yep.
Okay, got a couple questions.
More eyes,
yeah. Yeah, it's like pachinko, exactly. But see, like that's why I said it's okay for people to restream pachinko, because, well, number one, you got to go to the channel and play anyways, but the channel's already set up for bringing that like exposure to others. Like it's designed to bring exposure to the emote system, right? Like we want all the emotes in the game to work with it, and that's all that works to get you in the game. So there's no way to play it unless you have those emotes. And I think it's just like one of the tools of that, and that's the goal of Pachinko, is just to like get out there and create a spot for like people who've been supporting members of the community, and they have another place to go play and maybe win some prizes when the events drop.
I noticed a lot of people in the voice chat last night in the studio Discord too, just hanging out in there, you know, Tierra and GJC and all them. And
yeah, I was in there for a bit too. It's like, it's that idea again. It's because there's no streamer, it's just this thing that's going on, and you can actually pay attention to the people. Like, it's all about the people again. And so the people go to Discord and chat and hang out and play the game. And it's just like, you don't have to worry about the streamer in that sense. Will we ever see a King Arthur season for marbles with knights, dragons, and possibly some witches? You never know. You never know. It just really comes down to what we can achieve. Will you ever do Community Day again? I don't know. With that, it's like, I think it's important for the community managers to have that FaceTime with the community, that every day, every week thing. And like, it's a great time for the guys to just connect and just be there and and get a sense of like the community, right? And just always have like that finger on the heartbeat.
Yeah, you know, I talk about this every Friday, but it's really great to be able to, it's like getting in there and hanging out with 400 to 500 of your closest friends. You know, it really is. It really gives us that chance to connect and hang out and just be with everybody. You know, it's just a really fun day. You know, it's like, you know, all the extra hype and all that. It's like, let's get 500 in there. You know, it's like, let's get that extra place in there. And yeah, I don't know. I look forward to it, even though I got to get up extra early on Fridays, and it's always a little bit of a rush to move from this into it. I just have such a good time with it. You know, I wouldn't ever want to give it up, I don't think.
You saying I was going to fight you for it?
I
was gonna make a joke out of it, Mike. Like, you could have Community Day back when you pry it out of my hands, or you tell me that it's time for you to take it back over.
It's been really positive from my standpoint, just like running the company, everything. Because if you worry about the micro when you're running like the macro, it takes away from you being able to watch the whole picture. And me being able to sit back, I get to watch all of Community Day and understand.
Yeah, it's the whole point of you being the boss, basically. You know.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you have people do things for you.
Yeah.
So you can be on the high end.
Yeah, the high end.
You know.
Yeah, and just it goes back to like just understanding your space and being able to design for it. And like, if you're not watching, you can't design for it. You won't get that information because you're too busy worrying about that singular event as opposed to the big picture.
Yeah.
The idea of working on the business rather than in the business. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Man, Standard Damage, you're getting all the questions today. I'm sorry you had to get rid of your marble skin redemption because people got confused.
The ball skin redemption. Yeah, we'll come up with something else to replace that. What happened was I used to have that ball skin redemption, and what that would do is they'd redeem it, and they would basically I'd allow them to pick a marble skin and a modifier for the left-hand side of the screen. And I even tried different language at one point. It's like change my loadout, or, you know, like I tried a couple different options with that.
Yeah.
What was happening was people were getting confused. They would redeem it, and then they would tell me what marble skin they wanted in their loadout.
Oh, in their loadout?
Over and over again, I had to explain that it was just to change the loadout on my screen, not for them to get the marble skin. And it was happening so much that I finally just had to kill the redemption. It's like, if it's causing, and I understand that confusion.
Yeah.
Totally, by the way, because of what we do. So I'll replace it with something something else that's a lot more fun.
Well,
There's
you
some,
can
there's some-
disable it for the day if you want to keep it and then do it on other days, but that could be confusing still,
Well, that was just it. It was off for Community Day, but there was confusing people on the other days.
Oh, gotcha.
They thought, so what they would do is they'd redeem it and then they'd say skin 5. It's like, no.
Give me my skin, Screamer.
That's not how it works. You know, and it, you know, at some point, you know, we'll come up with something different though. That's an easy fix. There were only literally like for the number of people in the community too, like using it repeatedly. Like there were maybe, it's one of those things that you look at it in terms of numbers. Like there were like maybe 4 or 5 people in the community that were using it on the regular. Most people didn't. So it was like, okay, I can come up with something better that more people can use and enjoy. You know, so yeah. Yeah, it's better. It was better to remove the confusion under those circumstances, I think.
Yeah, I guess that would get confusing. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally understood that one. Everybody's like, oh, sorry. It's like, no. I totally get it. I totally get it. Again, it's because of what we do and how we do it.
Right.
So,
Touching on evolution, evolving with ideas, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes things get changed and you got to just adapt.
Right.
Do you still do the Spooo? Were you about to go?
I was gonna say you gotta learn from the environment, you know. What's going on.
Yeah. Do you still do the event, Jamie, where you like clear some of the marbles and then you go through and then assign them?
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Not anymore. Yeah. No, what I do now is I simply I reset the marbles kind of at whim. I'll usually leave the sub marbles alone for the entire season. Because all you have like the new modifiers up there and you know whatever the new ones are, so we can talk about them. But on the left hand side now, what I've been doing is we have so many, the way I'm looking at it is we have so many other marble streamers that support us, our channels. So what I'm doing is, as an extra shout out to them, I'm lining up all the different glowing streamer marbles on the left-hand side. So the left-hand side now is completely dedicated to streamer marbles. The right-hand side is where I put all the devs and the different modifiers and things like that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I can rotate, what I can do is I can rotate through the streamer marbles as, you know, as needed. So I'll just kind of go that way with it. But it gives me a chance to give a little extra shout out to the people that support us.
Right, yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Well, Nalu. Okay, hold on. What's coming in season 18? I can't wait to see the new tracks you guys drop. There's a lot coming season 18. I'm not gonna. I went through, actually. If you check my VOD, there's a bunch of stuff I showed yesterday. That'll give you a nice rundown. There's a lot. The team.
Fresh dev balls. They look awesome.
Yeah, fresh dev balls, new exclusive, new skins.
So that means the end of season tournament will be the last day to get the dev 6s.
Correct. Yeah. Well, the last day that they'll be available for that specific event, and then next season, the new ones will rotate in. The old ones. See, what I've done is in Pachinko, you can win all the old ones between 2 and 6 right now. Plus, there's some sneaky things I snuck in there, but
sneaky things I snuck in there.
He's sneaky.
Sneaky. So what will happen is the new ones will rotate into Community Day and the events, and then the 6s will be a part of Pachinko. And obviously the exclusives that rotate on the sub side of Community Day as well. So yeah, we're just getting more variety. It's insane. There's a lot coming in season 18. There's a lot of stuff I've set up. I don't know if it'll be ready for season 18. Maybe it'll be ready for mid-season update. But there's a lot in the works, and we're just kind of pushing through now that like we've gotten past the fine-tuning era, which took a couple seasons. Like Kegstan rewrote our chat server and all that stuff, so that took, and it was very worth it. And that's just like sometimes you got to take that hit and do something that fixes, you know, an underlying issue as opposed to like something front end. But now we can get back to the front end and put out some game elements again, which I'm really excited for because I've got so much built up. I've got the laps, and this is all like half done. I've got laps, I've got the fashion show, we've got the golf idea still, and we got like that new map coming out, hopefully for season 18 with the diner.
It's funny. So doing the marble team, just visiting so many newer streamers to marbles, and they like when you have a group of people with all the skins and effects on it, they all lose their mind, like, oh my god, look at these balls. And like a couple of them have mentioned since I've been doing Marble Team, like fashion show, and I'm like, yeah, well, they're working on a fashion show arcade mode. Like,
Yeah.
kind of funny how people who haven't seen this, like, or who aren't used to seeing like any of the visual effects, I guess, in the game,
Right.
they're just like so into it.
It's amazing. Okay. I guess we could talk about tournament kits. It's probably a good, I think it's going to be a good conversation. So tournament kits launched yesterday. We implemented some of the suggestions from the community. We locked down one tournament kit per user for the first 24 hours. And if there was some available after that, people would be able to book more. But they sold out 26 kits in 2.5 hours. We have 26 unique people running them. And yeah, like, I don't know. From what I've seen so far, it's been positive. I mean, it's only been 24 hours, not even yet. So one thing I'm definitely excited for is all the different faces we're going to see doing the tournaments.
Right.
And there's a lot of new faces to the community. There's people that like just attended the classes with Twidget, just learning everything, and then now getting involved in the community. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be good. Just for those exact same reasons. I mean, I don't know if the thing with the tournaments is like there's just a limited amount. So what can you really do at a certain point?
Yeah. Like, and we've seen the effects of like it being every single day, right? Like having tournaments every single day.
Yeah. It just gets, and that's what I was gonna say is we know what happens if we flood it.
Yeah.
And it gets to be too much. It just gets to be too much, and they lose their impact. You know, it's, and we were talking about this a little bit when I did the class last night, because we were talking about events, and you know how you need that build up, and you need to be doing certain things for it. And I felt like when it was happening every single day, it was being treated like just another stream, but with some bonus prizes.
Right.
You know, and again, people are doing a lot more with the kits now. They're building out events at all different kinds of levels, which is really cool to see. So yeah, I wouldn't want to see anything like that get destroyed. You know, it seems like the system's rolling really strong now. So
yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting. I want to revamp the whole system. I like the way that it's being booked now, but I want to revamp the actual kit system. But for now, like, yeah, I think it still does a good job. It's still so unique, right? Even though they happen so much, 26 events in a season, that means only 26 possible prizes for first place are going out.
Yeah,
so those prizes take a long time to really get diluted, and we're not even close to being there yet.
Well, and there's so much variety in the kits now too. For the prizes, you build all the different marbles back in, and we have all the different trail effects if that's the way somebody wants to go. There are certainly, like, when I look, it's really interesting now because now you guys are posting the weekly ones,
right,
where you can actually see all the events and what was chosen for each one. And I'm definitely seeing some commonalities. Like there's certainly ones that are more popular than others, but yeah, there's a lot of variety in those kits now. So
yeah, lots of variety. And we'll probably add some more. Like, we've just been tapped on workloads, so we'll probably be adding more to it as we go forward.
Right, I was going to ask if there's anything in the works.
Yeah, probably for season 19, I would guess.
Nice.
Is there any, like, do you guys have any, like, opinions about stuff? Do you want to, like, chime in on what you feel about the kits and how we're doing it now? And, like, the one per day was literally a community suggestion from last season.
I'm excited to see. I love seeing the uniqueness when it comes to like the tournaments, because obviously you can just like do a tournament, and roll however many races, and I just like seeing people trying different things, like the buckshot thing. And I know some people react negatively to change and stuff like that, but for me, I just love seeing people do something different.
Right.
Whether it's, it could be anything, honestly. I could name a whole Royale tournament would be cool. Backwards points are cool. Points in random spots for whatever reasons are cool. The buckshot thing was cool. It's just if people find a way to work together on a project too and make it really fun, like Nalu does the versus thing, and that's a lot of fun. So just things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like seeing people, to your point, Spooo, I just like seeing people play.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's really it. Because through play, you learn, and you're a little more brave. You try new things. You know, you try different things.
If you play a lot, you think a lot more. You start brainstorming a lot more about things you can do within the game that are more fun for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah. You learn a lot about your content, and you learn what you're gonna love, and you learn the things that maybe you're not gonna love so much. You know, that kind of thing. And it helps you kind of fine tune it. And when you do something like a big event and you set out to do something different with it, you might find something that you really, really, really love to do. And if it's a negative experience, if it's like, wow, I would never do that again, well, then you know for sure what to never do again. You know, that it
just give it a shot and have fun with it and see what happens. You know?
Yeah.
Jamie, by play,
put yourself out there.
By play, you were meaning experiment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really what play is ultimately. Right. Like I talk about that all the time. People don't play enough with their content. Like they get into that comfortable routine, and I get to the point like when I with my own content, like if I start to feel really comfortable, if I don't have any butterflies before I start a stream, I'm not feeling nervous in any way, and it feels really like really smooth and polished, that's usually my signal I've got to change something, because it's become too routine for me at that point. Yeah. It's
interesting. Did I miss anything in chat about the tournaments?
I know a lot of people are talking about tournaments in the chat and different things they have coming up. Father versus son tournament, Sportscast Squad.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Here's something about tournaments. So like we want to like somehow continue like getting people to brainstorm, and we're thinking of this way to like take the brainstorming to the next level and make it really big. And like, what if we had like a panel? I think we've brought this up before, but like a panel, like us three and maybe Ender's World, and you know, somebody else from the community maybe, and it's up to them to pitch their event to us, and we can even live stream it. And they pitch their event, before, right? And they
like
pitch
a Shark Tank.
It's like a Shark Tank, yeah. And we go, these dates are available, and it's up to you to pitch it. And
maybe each of us get a certain amount of tournaments we can give out. Like, hey, I like this. I'm going to invest in this guy. Here's a ticket to your tournament.
But what that does, and I think this is positive, and somebody's like, well, what if you're streaming that's not good? But if you think about it, the people applying for these kits should be content creators. So it shouldn't be about camera shy, and it shouldn't be about performing, because the tournament should be a performance. So those two things should fit perfectly into the framework. That's what I think. Just that
people
just
would
that
love it too, just in general.
Just that implementation would be a nice, like, hey, we're looking for people who are comfortable in the content creation space, because it's so important. You're going to get attention from 100+ people, so you need to kind of like be comfortable with what you're doing. And that's just a part of success, right?
I mean, you could do like, you know, you have 26 days, right? Put aside one every weekend that's like a special event or something, and you have people try out for it.
Yeah, Firebreak. I think it's very important that people are experienced with marbles, because we've seen what happens when somebody who's uninformed about marbles runs an event. A lot of bad things can happen, right? Points get all messed up. The couple races don't count, and then they freak out because everything's not like, they're not comfortable with the system. And I think that's it's a very important thing for a tournament host to be comfortable with the system as well as their stream. So like it's just an idea right now, and I know there's going to be people who are like, oh, well, you know, that's not fair to me. But you got to remember, like, we're trying to elevate the best possible cases for these, right? We got 26 events this season, right? We want to elevate the 26 best possible events for everybody to enjoy. Remember, we got hundreds of people going to these events. We want them to be the best possible event, right?
And new traffic will be going into those streams during the events too. So
So it's just better for marbles. It's better for the community. It's better for the streamer because they're prepared, and we know they're prepared because they've already pitched it. They've already been in front of a
You can see it as
crowd.
being better towards everybody in the community, because if like good people are doing a good event, then people are learning. If they're there watching and they're like, oh, this is great, I love this, I can like iterate things from this stream and do it in my stream.
Great
and learn
ideas
from
spawn
that.
great ideas. Yeah, exactly. That's so powerful. When do we get the details for the 2 mystery weekends? Mystery weekends? If stuff is blocked off, there's a reason. There's no mystery weekends.
There's a secret weekend?
Yeah, like stuff is blocked off for a reason. There's an event planned, a preset event that we want to get in, and we didn't want to drown out a community day or a tournament kit that somebody's paying for, so we don't put kits on those days.
Yeah, trying to prepare for those types of things, because it's happened in the past. And we're learning.
The event that shall not be named. No.
And then there's another idea that's floating right now that we might deploy on this season, because we have extra people who've wanted kits, and we don't want to drown out every day. So we've thought of this idea of a primer event, where I think I mentioned it like an hour before, but I think it's better if it's 2 hours before the event, for like an hour and 45 minutes. So it's designed to like go right into the event basically. And then you have that extra 15 minutes just for people to take breaks or whatever. So you buy a primer event. It's designed to be a tournament kit, and it's like just a small batch of coins that'll be distributed for that event. And then the idea is it primes the tournament. So there's none of the exclusive prizes, but there's some coins and just some stuff to like give somebody a smaller event to manage. So that's something we were thinking possibly.
Pre-show.
Yeah, like the pre-show, right? So to possibly do this season and launch it out in maybe some trial format and see how it plays out.
You think you just I wonder if it would be good to have the person who has the tournament like pick the opener, so they can kind of mesh well together. I don't know, depending on what they want to do. I don't know how you'd want to give them out, you know?
Yeah, like we don't want the same people running their own primer. That's 100%. Right?
Yeah.
Opening act, exactly. I think some people see, this is the thing, is these events are not designed for everybody to attend everything. Some of you want to, and that respect, cool, but you don't have to. And for you to think that you need to be at every single event, every single hour of those events, is crazy. Yeah. But if you want to be that crazy, hell yeah, like it's cool. But then you can't hurt the people who are like in different time zones, who maybe want a little extra, who want a small event, or maybe somebody's at work and has an hour to kill, and like that primer event could perfectly satisfy that person. It could be interesting, and like I said, it could be we launch it, try it. If it's caca, we put it away, we put it back in the closet. Yeah, like, and this is the thing, right? You got to keep trying things, keep trying new stuff, right? Keep playing, and if we don't try new stuff, we're just gonna sit on tournament kits for so long, and they'll just be tournament kits forever. Like, I want to evolve tournament kits. Like, I think it needs to go in the direction of some sort of league or something like that. And it's like designed for the streamer, and the streamer can just control when it exists and how it exists and how long it is. And it's designed for that stream, and anybody can go participate, but it's up to that streamer to decide everything. Yeah. Just take things to the next level, right? Keep adapting, keep moving forward. I see other people are starting to do tournaments and stuff, which is great. And once something becomes mainstream, you want to start adapting it, right? I see the word tournament used a lot with marbles now, right? Tournament here, tournament there, and like it could get washed out. So maybe we need to evolve it and call it like official leagues or something, and build it into the game. And
Mega Bowl,
marble Mega Bowl,
Mega Bowl.
Yes.
Are the tournaments in Pachinko random? Just asking. It's up to you to figure out Pachinko. We don't really launch any information about it other than you can play with emotes.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about changing up the energy system? Yeah, we've talked about that. We can talk about it again. You guys know the energy change, right? Yeah, we talked about it last week, right?
2s, 4s, and 8s.
2s, 4s, and 8s is the tiers.
Is that
and-
it though? Or is it's not going to go up to like 10s or?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so because like it aligns well. The 2, 4, 8 aligns well with Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, yeah.
Yeah.
So people can schedule with the Grand Prix. There's 16 Grand Prix, so you get a multiple of 8. But the 8s would be in the top end anyways, so you'd probably be seeing a lot of 2s and 4s in general.
Yeah.
One thing I do know, it's going to mean a little bit extra experience for the streamers that are doing races. So that's something to be cognizant of. But that means getting those tiers done.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think that the way to do it is going to be to just, for the streamer side, is to just do the math and decide, you know, for those anyway that are concerned about making sure that everybody's hitting their energy tiers when they're in your streams and all that, just decide at the beginning how many races you're going to do the math and say, and be able to tell the people that are seeking energy, it's like, we're doing this many today, guys, and just count them back, let people know how many more you're going to have left. Not every single race necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's like, because and that's what I'm doing now still.
It's like repeating anything else,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So you're not going to, because you're going to have, again, we talk about this all the time too. You're going to have that rotation of people coming through, but you're going to find, I think this new system is going to be a lot easier on everybody, because again, it eliminates those great big gaps.
Yeah.
So that makes a big, big difference.
And
correct me if I'm wrong. You want to say something?
I was just going to say the only people that should be worried about large gaps is the people going long periods of time that get into the 8s, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, once you've decided to go that long, it's up to you to be cognizant and aware of who's in your stream and to clearly communicate to them if you care about that.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Zero Fusion said, so you get energy returns every 2nd, 4th, and 8th race. So it's going to be like a bunch of 2s.
Yeah.
Right? And then a bunch of 4s, and then a bunch of 8s.
Yeah. So you only see 8s if you're doing a lot of races in your stream. You'll stay in the 2s.
Right.
Like what I'm thinking is probably till 20. 20 or 40
so
is the 2s.
Up to 20, and then 4s up to something else. And...
Yeah. Because when you start going into the higher tiers, you are making a decision to like start getting those higher tiers. So there has to be a cause and effect to that stuff.
Yeah.
Those decisions, right? If we just leave it at 2 all the way, then it's just I don't know. I feel like there's just not enough strategy built into it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, by the time you're getting up over like 35, 40 races for a lot of streams, you're starting to get into long haul. Usually by that point anyway, you're doing a longer stream and I don't think the bigger gaps are going to matter as much at that stage. Again, as long as you're communicating.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it's 2s and then 4s up to 40 or something like that. Yeah, that shouldn't be a big problem for too many. It really shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, Hedry, there won't be any bonus energy given out. It's all, you're going to have your energy for the day, and it's up to you to manage it.
No more bonus energy.
I really like the unforgivingness of the energy system. Like, I think we should have done this a long time ago. Because what I'm seeing from Pachinko is, and what I've learned, is that if you're punishing, if actions can be punishing, and there's a cause and effect to things, then people will put more value on their actions. So if they know that there's a chance that they run out of energy for the day and there's no way to get energy back for the day, they're going to be more cognizant and be more aware of their actions.
Strategic.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be very positive for the community. I think it's. I don't know. I like the unforgivingness of it. I like that idea. And it's like, if you're done, boom. No, it's going to be like 20 energy for the day. Ish. I'm not 100% on where it's going to sit yet, but around there.
Well, no, because you're going to get, Zero Fusion says max 50 races a day. You're going to get energy back. You're just not going to get extra energy because you used to get 1 extra energy back for certain tiers.
Yeah, for like 2 of the tiers.
So now you just don't get any energy back. So you can still race all day if you manage your energy right.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll still be able to race all day. You just don't get any extra back. So that it's building up extra, even with just the little bits of energy, extra energy that our grinders and our pro marblers have been getting back. It's like, and they've come in and told me it's always, it amazes me. It's like, oh yeah, I'm up to 150 energy right now. And it's like, what, how did you do that? And it's just because they've been hitting all those heavy tiers and just adding those little bits in as time goes on. I think my favorite is when we get close to reset and so I see somebody in a stream going, yeah, I'm trying to burn off as much energy as I can in as many places as I can because reset's about to happen and I'm still floating around at like 125 or something like that. So, you know, it does happen and people manage to really build it up. But yeah, this is gonna hone things in a bit more, I feel.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, people are not gonna like it, I guarantee it. But we'll,
Right.
you know, we'll continue to adapt and overcome as we see fit. Well, people are Hedry. Like, there's always gonna be people redirecting their energy toward, or their their anger towards streamers. It happens every day, right?
Yeah.
I got banned. I got timed out. It's just constant.
There's always going to be that stress between the streamer wanting to help people finish their tiers and the streamer wanting to freaking end their stream.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you gotta give in at some point. Like, sorry guys, I'm gone. Like, I can't keep pushing myself.
Yeah.
And a lot of streamers do that, and it's not healthy. And freaking viewers have to be respectful of that. Like, sorry, like, you know, don't roll here anymore because this is gonna happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you're that serious, I'm sorry. But then also understand that with the 2s and the 4s, I think it's gonna be so much easier to hit. Like, yeah, I'll push myself 2-3 more races. Now, if you get into the 8s, then it's like you got to have that conversation with your viewers and be like, you're screwed if you stay, you know, whatever you need to tell them. Like, don't go for the 8s, or I'm not going to be grinding that hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think people will be just more cognizant. Because before it wasn't as important and people would beg for that extra tier.
Yeah.
Just to hit it, right? Just to get that extra energy.
Mm-hmm.
But now it'll be about paying attention. That's it. That's it. Like, yeah, you can argue as much as you want, but that's it. Like, this is your energy. Deal with it for the day. Manage it. And then once again, the energy only affects the competitive system. That's the only people it affects, which is the smallest portion. So it's just about, if you want to crank, learn the crank.
Mm-hmm.
Learn it.
I mean, regardless, it's like anything getting released in a new season. Just got to see what happens. Let it loose and see what happens. There's always speculation, but you don't know till you know.
Lorenzo, that's exactly how energy works. It has no impact on anybody not caring about the global system. Zero impact. They can continue to play on all streams without hinder, like without any.
Yeah, you can participate you can still participate in tournaments. It doesn't stop you on community days. None of that. You literally don't have to worry about a single thing. The only people that have to focus on that energy system are the grinders, you know, and again, we, you know, as streamers, we just have to make sure that we call a couple things out and communicate, let them know what's going on. And it'll take everybody a little bit, I think, to get used to the new energy system when it launches.
100%.
But yeah.
I think people are going to stress the energy more. They'll be so much more concerned with hitting the tier. I think so too, just because you're not getting extra energy back. But the balance to that is the tiers are so much smaller. So, you know, I think it's going to be balanced in that sense. It's going to be easier to hit tiers until you get to the 8s anyway.
Yeah,
that's where it starts getting harder.
Yeah, something else, and it kind of came into focus for me the other day on my stream because it affected my stream just a little bit. But just taking a peek, like, I always make sure that I enter every single race so that I know that if my viewers are entering every single race and they're concerned about energy tiers, that they're all counting. So we had a little server reset issue. I think it was Monday that happened. And just kind of keep an eye on that too. Like, I ended up running a couple of extra races. I ran the stream a little bit long just to make sure everybody got to their tiers, because we lost a couple of tiers along the way. So that's not a bad practice to get in, whether you're talking about the current energy system or the new one that's coming along. But yeah, just keep you can keep a little bit of an eye on that too. Because if you can see where you're at, you can also know where your viewers should be if they were entering in with the races right along with you. That's a really good indicator. Just a little pro tip. That's
and
all
just
that
what Headsnap said too. Another pro tip: if you learn how long it takes you to do 8 races, even if you just want to end the stream and like crank them out at the end of the day or whatever, just to help people get their tiers, if that's something that you want to do. Or just do, what 8 races takes casually. Just know at that point, okay, I want to stop in an hour. It takes me an hour to do 8 races. So an hour before you want to end your stream, say I'm doing 8 more, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the racers to be paying attention and knowing what's going on in the stream. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to remind people about their tiers or their races, only to be told right when you're ending that they need a few more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got community maps searching. We're trying to build a revamp to the builder, but it's a massive project, and it involves the front end, including the back end, and the whole functionality of the builder. So anything for the builder, like, you'll just have to wait for that. I'm trying to inject new pieces and stuff into the builder, and we have like 9 new materials being added to the builder next season. So there's a lot of new stuff, but as for like framework, I need keg stand on it, and we need like a full rewrite. It's getting to the point where like it's not going to be valuable for him to like plug in a couple things that like make satisfaction, because there's just so much missing that we want to get in there now. So we just got to build it from the ground up again and just revamp it. So yeah, it's just going to take some time for the builder, because you guys are always patient. So we'll continue plugging away, and it's getting up there on the priority list. Tilted. There's a lot. There's a question about Tilted. I'll get to that in a second. Does it mean it starts over and repeats after 8? No. So it's the same thing as like now. Like there's a bunch of tiers. It's going to be 2, 4, and then a bunch of 8s. And then once you're done, you're done. Like it's the same thing. It's the same thing as now, just the tiers are different. That's all. Will there be any changes to tilting? So I'm trying to rebuild Tilted. I don't know if it's going to be ready for next season. It might drop mid-season or something. Energy is not being implemented in Tilted. I don't want both systems to be the same. I want there to be different systems built into the game, but that all interact with the same leaderboard. And that's a challenge for me to design for, but that's like my intent. I'm not going to show you guys. Did I hint at it? No, I didn't. Anyways, come to the stream maybe this week or next week, and you'll see some fun stuff that I'm showing. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, there's just so much, and we're just going to continue plugging away. Tilted, the amount of fun people are having with Tilted right now, it's made it scary for me to change, because I see people having so much fun with it, and it's such a simple concept. Like it's a simple game mode. Like there's nothing really too complex about it. But yeah, I think there was an important question there. How's the team addressing bullying within the community? I would need more context on that, but like we've made.
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, personally, when it comes to anything, I think you need proof is main thing. So if you're out there getting bullied and it's serious harassment, getting proof of how it's happening and what's happening, and then reaching out to us with it, I think is super important, because then we can address it ourselves and figure it out. But things like, because I've had people reach out to me kind of like with high school drama, and it's just it's bullying, but it's not extreme harassment. There's like a line of like calling somebody a butthead and being rude to them all the time and like whatever, that type of stuff. And I think it's important for people I talk to people about this, just blocking these people. You can X these people out of the internet unless they're seriously harassing you. Then you're never going to see them again. And you can just block them if you don't actually like the person, they're giving you bad vibes. But if it's serious harassment, getting proof of it and reaching out to us is the best bet.
And also, if they're pushing really hard, like you're walking in the territory of criminal, so contact your local authorities if things are getting really bad. Like that's Like we can remove people out of the game really easily, but if it's targeted towards you, the game isn't gonna stop them, like being blocked. So like I'm just saying, like there's steps that need to be taken in accordance to each situation individually, and it's just best to provide us all information that you have about it, and then we can make a decision of whether it needs to be addressed or not. But yeah, like it's tough because we hear all the scales from basic, like just two people not agreeing, all the way up to really somebody being aggressive towards the other person and needing to be addressed.
Yeah.
We also try it. We do deal with everything behind the scenes, and we don't announce who's getting dealt with, how they're being dealt with. We just deal with it. I'm not going to build a platform about creating hate around others.
Yeah. A lot of it, and now Lou, I'll say this again. When it comes to a lot of that, like when you're talking about dealing with being harassed by one individual, blocking is an amazing thing. I want to repeat Spoo's point. Blocking is an amazing thing. You know, you can. The thing about the internet in general is unless it starts to become severe, and by the time it becomes severe, like Mike said, you could even be getting into criminal activity at that point, where it's stalking and the whole 9 yards. But you can mute them. If you block somebody on Twitch, we actually talked about this in the class last night. If you block somebody on Twitch, you can't even see their comments in a chat if you're both in another channel at the same time. Like, that's how far that actually goes.
I think it also gets rid of their emotes.
Yeah, but it gets rid of everything. It gets rid of everything.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if it's a one-on-one thing, and one person, Nolly's next point was that you know, a member of the community basically was pushed out. You know, I mean, I don't understand how it can get to that point if that person takes the steps to just not see them, or I mean, I don't know, I guess spreading rumors or something like that. Like there's a lot of different. It's hard to know exactly how to deal with it without having the proof of it, right? And that's why I said there's got to be proof, because then we don't know to the extent of what is happening exactly.
Yeah. A lot of,
like, I think it's terrible that someone's able to force somebody out of a community like that, but it's, you know, how if there's so many strong positive people in this community that they can wrap themselves around and then block that person, ban that person, and hang out with the people that make them feel good, you know? So
This is the internet. There's gonna be always, like, you're growing. Okay, as the community grows, as you grow as a streamer, you're going to start attracting more and more naysayers. It's just a numbers game. That's what's going to happen. You have 100 viewers, you're probably going to have one naysayer. You have 1,000 viewers, you're probably going to have 10 naysayers. As you grow in this industry, you have to learn to deal with this stuff. And by dealing with it is exit out of your eyeballs. Get it out of there. Block them on all platforms. Ban them from your channel if you have to. Like, take those necessary steps and use the tools at your fingertips to get rid of them.
Again, if it's like if it's serious harassment and you can't get away from them from doing this stuff, because that stuff happens, you know, they change their account, they do all the things that they do to continue harassing you, then it becomes a legal issue, and you can easily get proof of it, taking snapshots, screenshots of whatever they're doing. Because if you're not talking to them in voice and they're harassing you, it's obviously in text. So, you know, it's all there to be able to be used.
Yeah. Exactly.
Keep track of all your communications. If you know something's going into that direction, start tracking everything. Keep a folder, screenshot, paste everything in that folder, and have your evidence saved up. You just need to learn to, what Ender says, cover your ass.
Yeah.
Just cover your ass. Like, if you know something's going south, start tracking it. Start doing everything you can to, like, prepare yourself for a fight. Basically, whether it be legal
put in the work to fight the good fight, because if you're being wronged, harassed, whatever, you need to do something about it, you know. And the best way is with proof.
And here's another point: if you're a community head, if you're a streamer, which means you're a community head, and you're not willing to fight for your community, how's your community going to feel around you? Are they going to feel safe? So, like, you just gotta take the action and make your own assessment, and whatever your decision is, you got to stand strong with it, because there's going to be people who disagree with your decision also.
Yeah, and reach out. Exactly, Killspree. Just reach out. Like, talk to somebody about it. People have talked to me about random things, and then I let them know, like, just block them. Depending on what the issue is and what's going on when they talk to me, I'm just like, just block them and get them the hell out of your life. Like, you're just dealing with a negative person who's giving you crap. Like, you can get rid of them, and then if it continues after that, then you do something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest steps to positivity for both yourself and your community is to get that out of there. You've got to get it. It's literally a case of out of sight, out of mind. When you really block somebody, like you really keep them from being able to get to you in any way. And I speak from not experience not all that long ago myself. You've got to you've got to take that responsibility on yourself to get them out of there. And maybe they'll complain about the fact that they got blocked by you or banned by you or whatever the case may be. Just keep rolling. Just keep rolling, because you're not going to be able to see those messages anymore. You've literally removed it, and it amazes me how many people.
And there's always going to be those people.
Yeah, it amazes me how many people I talk to, and I'm like, well, why don't you just block them? Oh, I could block them? Yeah. Well, get them out of your social media, get them out of your Twitch experience.
And not only Twitch, social, like anywhere you go, like if you know they exist on that platform, they're bugging you, get them out of there.
Yeah.
And don't engage with their content. That's the thing. I think I see that issue a lot. It's like people will make the steps to block, but then continue to engage on that content and talk about it and chime in on it. And it's just not valuable to you. It's not valuable for your time. You have a community to build. You have people who care about what you're doing around you. So take care of those people. If you help those people flourish and be happy, more of those people will grow around you. If you focus on the negative and constantly talk about the negative, those are the people who are going to grow around you. And you'll continue to have those experiences because those similar types of people will be gathering around you. They'll just be constantly surrounded by negativity. And then it starts affecting your content. It starts affecting everything around you, your home life, which is another important thing that I think we don't even talk about much, is like your home life needs to be secure as well.
Yeah.
Like off stream. If you are getting offline and you're unhappy getting offline, that's not a good thing either. And your home life needs to be a safe place as well. So take care of your home life as well as your streaming space so that you're creating an ecosystem that's positive for you.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And Susie, exactly. So much better for your mental health. Yes, it is.
Oh, it's a huge impact.
Yes, it is. It's a huge factor. Like when you talk to people who talk about like what successful people do versus what non-successful people do, non-successful people will wallow in that kind of content, in that kind of material. Successful people do not have time for it. It's that simple. Yep. It's that simple.
They fail and they try again immediately.
Yeah, you just keep right on going. Just keep right on going, because I can guarantee you that the people out there that are doing things like that eventually do run out of steam. I've watched this play out a lot over the last 2 years, because what happens is anybody out there that's being super negative, they continue to lose relevance over time. Look at Twitter and look at a negative versus a positive post and look at the interaction with it, especially right now with everything that's going on out in the world. Really take a look at that. The positive posts, the things that people are craving right now are gaining a lot more ground than the negativity does, because everybody's tired of it, and a lot of people just get eliminated off of timelines when they start doing things like that. So it's a great way. It's a great way to crush what you've built by being negative.
Yeah. And it's easy to slip because there's so much going on, right? And mostly encountering a bullying moment, like however that, like whatever scale it's at, which would be terrible. But when you're encountering these things, those events can tear you down in an instant if you allow it to. Yeah, absolutely. Because for some reason we always let negativity pierce us deeper than positivity, right? And a lot of time we're like, well, why is that person not like what I'm doing? And you want to focus on that and make it better, or try, right? Because that's what a good person does. They try to make something better. But then it's like every time you try, it's just getting punched down. And you're like, then you start getting down and you're like, well, I don't get it, right? you don't understand, like, whatever situation they're dealing with on their end is obviously affecting their communication online. And that's why it's best to not engage with it. Just pull back, do your thing, keep spreading your message.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Susie, totally.
It's funny you bring up, because I was thinking about bringing this up randomly at some point a few days ago, and then you made me remember it. Whenever I see something negative on Twitter, like some sort of negative post, even if it's from a friend, and even if it's like a sad post just about something like, oh, my dog broke its leg today or something like that, I'm reluctant to like that post. It's a like. Why would I like a post about my friend's dog's broken leg? I don't know. Like, I think it's important to bring that stuff up sometimes on social medias, but for me personally, like, it feels weird. I might comment on it, right? But to like it, not that it matters, I guess. If I don't know. It's just some random thought I had. Like, when I see those types of posts, I'm reluctant to like it, even though I might interact with it.
It's because the like is an indicator that you're acknowledging the post. I think that's where a lot of that mentality comes from. It's like to like it means you saw it and you're throwing some love to it. Although I agree, Spooo. It always, I used to think that even on Facebook back in the day. Yeah. It's like, why am I liking the fact that your mom passed away?
Right.
I don't like it doesn't. But it's because it's basically an indicator that you saw the post and you're acknowledging the post, even if it's a negative kind of thing. You know, there were a few times where I'd like a post or something like that, and I'd be like, I'm liking this to let you know that I saw it and I love you, not because I like what's going on kind of thing.
Right. But Facebook added that care emote now, or whatever. It's like the hug emote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different reactions.
Yeah.
That's why Facebook added different reactions. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there going to be a writing list of how the energy is going to work? Yeah, we released it the last time, like a little sheet, a worksheet on how it kind of works. And it's going to be similar. It's just going to be like, it'll be like from tiers 2 to 20, it's 2. From races 21 to 40, it'll be whatever, and then on and on. It'll be like, I think it's confusing because what we do now is like every tier it changes a little bit. Every tier you hit, it changes. But now it's going to be like a bunch of 2s, a bunch of 4s, and a bunch of 8s. That's what it's like, Face.
Yeah. Yeah.
How Tilted tournaments are done. So right now, we're working with Shen's. We support him in his tournament pushes for Tilted. So it's whatever he comes up with, really. As long as it's like, it makes sense, I'm supporting him. I'm supporting him in the cause. So yeah, if you have feedback on the Tilted tournaments, reach out to Shen's and have a chat with him and see what he's thinking and see if he's willing to accept your feedback. So it's don't I'm hot. I'm not giving you the exact framework right now. It's going to be some 2s, it's going to be some 4s, and it's going to be some 8s. We'll tell you when those tiers exist or where
it's going to be all mixed up. Everyone's are going to be different.
It's random.
You start with an 8 today, you start with a 4, you start with a 2. I bet everybody would love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We are coming to the end of the podcast, guys. If there's any last minute questions, we can address them. Lots of good questions today. Nalu, I hope that answered or at least you got some sort of answer that you've been looking for the.
Please reach out. That's the main thing. Proof. Reach out, and then try to understand where it is. Whether is this person just bothering me? Do I just need to block them and ban them and not see them, or is this going to that next level of like harassment, hate, going to extremes, things like that? But always reach out to people and talk about it.
Yeah, like you're on Twitch, first of all. That's the thing. So we'll always like say, hey, report it to Twitch, because they have a great team that monitors everything 24/7, right? So if something's out of whack and they feel like it doesn't belong, it'll get removed, and that includes an account. So we often say just report to Twitch, and if they take action, we can also take action.
Action.
if I make tracks this season, I can't upload them next season without buying a kit. You'll have one upload slot, but you won't be able to upload the advanced tracks, right? So like the kit unlocks all those extra pieces. So if you make a track that contains extra pieces, next season, if you don't have the kit, that when you load that track, all the extra pieces will be missing. But you can leave that, and then when you get the kit next time, you can load that track and everything will be there. But yeah, you won't be able to upload it because your track won't be complete. I want it, it's part of the rework for the track builder is to take it into a free state, so it's fully free, but then you just pay for upload slots, and that's it. So, because I want more people to play around with the builder. Like, I'd love to say, hey, it's free, just go play around, and if you want to upload, then you pay. But more practice makes you better.
And Cappool, yes. The answer to that question is yes. Can we update tracks made now with new pieces on next season? Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. Because the track gets stored on your hard drive. So all you're gonna do then is just load it into the builder, see what changes you need to make. Sometimes things aren't lined up quite the same because there have been some other changes to pieces, things like that. So you can tweak it, add, remove. Hedry does that all the time.
Yeah.
It takes other tracks, like when I was running the Blacklight tracks constantly, I'd go into one of his tracks, I'd see a track disappeared, and then a new one would take its place, and I'd load it. It was the same track, just with the new pieces or some new ideas designed into it. But yep, you sure can. You absolutely can do that.
Hell yeah. Okay, so Spooo and Standard Damage, any closing messages you guys want to share?
I'll see y'all in less than an hour. I guess is the big thing right now. We've got 2 community days left, everybody. So get in here for them. Try to grab the exclusives for those of you that are still trying to grab the Mad Cow, Ms. Mad Cow, things like that. But yeah, we'll see everybody in less than an hour, and it's gonna be party time, everyone.
Party time. I got nothing.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Hope this provided some good information about marbles and streaming, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.